All right, hey everyone, happy Friday. We're back with Friday Flows here, and I'm joined by special guest from our labs team, Michael Tolan. How are you, Michael?
We're doing great, Blake. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us
Good,
again.
good.
Is this your second or third flows at this point?
I I think it was late November. Yeah, so I guess feels a bit like yesterday, and then also feels nearly like a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, good to have you back. And this time, over the past few months, we have a milestone to celebrate here. So tell us the mark we just hit.
Sure, sure. So myself, and a few others at labs, our main goal is basically putting stories into the story library. And today, or I think late last night, we hit our like magic 700 number. So these are basically 700 stories that you can go search, import, run with very little setup involved, like run up in your own tenant. So it's great to see the amount that it's grown. I guess to give some context, the last time I was on in late November, I think we were around 650-ish. So not exactly a new story every day, but at least one or two a week. So it's great to see. Yeah,
Cool.
just to see how it's gone and developed. That being said, I'm not the one building all of the stories here. So, and the story that actually came into that we're going to look through today came through a customer submission. So you can see here in the story library, if you can, if you want to submit either a fully fledged story or an idea, you can do it via this form. So what one of our customers did recently, late last week, it was like, hey, I have this issue or this thing with AWS security groups, which I think could be a good thing to feature in the library. Would you be interested in building a story out? So, first of all, it's great to see that customers are interested in submitting ideas. And it's also a great idea. It's one of those that like, oh yeah, this is kind of a no-brainer. It's good to tackle. So this one is to do with virtual machines. So either if you're dealing with AWS EC2 or Azure, their virtual machines, it's a similar concept that if you go to spin up a machine, it'll ask you what security group do you want to attach to that machine, which basically means what IPs or what regions are able to access and log in. In AWS, if you go to spin one up, the default security group that it will give you basically is like, hey, any IP can just access this machine. I don't want to like have any other stricter requirements. Now, from a security perspective, not really a good position to be in. So with this story here is more kind of a cleanup and checking to see are there any vulnerable security groups in EC2s that I might want to get rid of, and if they are attached to any EC2 instances, can we swap those to something that's a bit more secure? So if I just jump into the Tines workflow here, which I've set up. So it is a bit, here's one I prepared earlier, but all that I've prepared in this instance are just setting up an AWS credential, which you can see here gives you very quick rundown, well, quick and also thorough rundown of like how to set it up. And then the only other bits which we need to set up in resources are what region, so wherever your EC2s are hosted, and then your EC2 default group, which will be your company standard. If I want to swap out from something insecure to something more secure, what will that group be? So if I check here, if I just do a refresh here, so I have these two EC2s that are connected to this launch wizard 27, which means that anywhere on the instance, anywhere on the internet can connect onto them. So if I just run this, I'll also just enable this one here. So if I just click run, we can see here it gets all of the security groups, which you can see allow for from port 22 into port 22. 000/0 means anywhere on the internet. Um, we can see here within our own environment, I guess since we spin up loads of EC2 instances, we do have a few insecure machines, so we might end up running this in a production ourselves. Here is another trigger kind of just for the demo if you want to like have any more specific triggers to like branch something out. And for this one, I'm just focusing on the launch wizard 27. Um, See, are there any EC2 instances connected to that security group? If there weren't, what this would do, it would automatically delete that security group. So we're cleaning up the environment. For here, we can see it exploded. So we found two EC2 instances. We're going to change those here. We can see in the builder that we're going to swap the security group to our default group that we've set. And then we're going to delete that launch wizard 27 group. So I guess a good way to test if I do this, refresh. Perfect. So we can see that the security group has swapped over to our company default, whatever we want it to be. And then here we can see the launch wizard 27. If I refresh, gone. So cleaning up both the EC2 instances, making them a bit more secure, and then also deleting the security group. So you're tidying up your inventory, so to speak. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So like you can have that on a schedule if you want to like that running every day. If you want to like say send an email. So this is kind of the beauty of Times that this is like a basic-ish workflow, but you can expand this, customize it as much as you want. If you want to maybe send the analyst an email saying like, hey, FYI, these EC2 instances were affected. It's just literally drag, drop, do a bit of configuration, and can do whatever you want with it. So highly customizable in that regard.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for running through that.
Sure.
I want to highlight the turnaround on it too. So you said the customer submitted the idea
I
late last.
think on the 25th,
So
and this went into the library yesterday or the day before. So it was under a week,
yeah,
also taking into account the weekend. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, like it's a basic idea, but also like a pretty powerful one. Um, and then one also thing to highlight here. So we do have like 700 stories, which are kind of like import, drag and drop. There's a few like EC2 specific things which we haven't done before, but what I was able to do, see here in the bottom left, templates. So we have a new like template builder. If I type in EC2, we can see 33 basically template actions. So if I type in here, security, so you can see here, set AWS EC2 security group. So it means that I don't even need to look at the docs to figure out how do I need to do, or how do I need to do this, that like some of these individual actions are already pre-configured. So it's stuff like that, which both helped me get like building this, like it sped it up that time, but then hopefully if someone imports this, wants to do their own configuration, using these templates either for like Slack, Microsoft Teams, if you want to create a Jira issue, stuff like that, it's all like very quick to set up.
that's great. Yeah, very easy. Well, cool. Let's end on this. So if you're watching this video and you have a problem or you have an idea for a story, head over to the Tynes story library. Michael's highlighting it there in the bottom left. All you have to do is click submit a story or an idea, and share some details on what you'd like the
Sure.
team to build. And now he set a precedent. So Michael, I'll have it back to you in just a few days, right?
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be 750 by the next time I'm on. So
Yeah.
hopefully not too far away. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for
Cool.
running us through it. It's good to see you.
Sure. You too. Have a great weekend.
Bye.